Hi, I'm Debbie Chronostor. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I am here to show you how I use the days to remember to create my calendar pages. So if you're part of my customer base or my downline, you are working on the calendar this fall for 2022. But this stamp set will be one we will use for years to come because it has this amazing stamp right here where we can determine what we want, how we want the calendar to lay out. So I am going to show you how to do this. So I have a black Memento stamp pad. Oh, I didn't need those. And I have 3x3s. This is the size paper that I am using for my calendar. So if you mess one up or if you want to cut some to practice, I would recommend you cut a few 3x3s and just to practice with so you get a feel for this. There's one more thing I need. Let me grab a roll of tape. And I purchased this at either Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's called Delicate Surface Tape. Can you guys see that in there? It says Delicate Surface Tape, and it's purple. There's also a green one that I've purchased. I'm not sure what it's called, but I think it's called something very similar to it. And so this will come in very handy for you. Okay, so what I've done is I have placed my stamp in my Stamparatus, and I have placed it so that it opens at the top, which is just comfortable for me. And it is placed so that the top of this is at like just below 1.5 inches. And so your bottom hits just below, it's about 3 1/4. All right, and then from side to side, it really doesn't matter, except just give yourself some room away from this hinge so that it will be easy to stamp. Okay, and so like I said, my cards are 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide, first of all, where I want that stamp to be. And you can see it's just like my last row here is on the bottom. Okay, which I'll show you what to do if you get into the 31st being in that 5th row. Okay, so if, let's say I want my month, the Saturday is the 2nd, okay? Let's just use that one for an example. It's a good one. So I'm going to cover up everything after this with the tape. So I'm going to cover up this 3. So let's just open this up and do that. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to tear off a piece of tape here. And I want it a good size piece because I'm going to use it again. And I'm going to cover everything, the 3 over. Okay, so that is, my 3 is covered. You can see my 2. So if my Saturday is here, then my Sunday is going to be over here, which we're going to move our paper, so we don't have to worry about it, but I want the paper there so you could see. So the first, second, and my 3rd is going to be this one. So I'm going to have to cover this row of 2s over here. So I'm just going to take another piece and cover that up. Just like that. So my tape is really sticking mostly on my, I don't want it to hang down, on my, on my little door here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my, probably should have scooted that down. There's not too easy to see, huh? I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to ink that area. I want to ink it real good so that it stamps nice. And then I'm going to pull these off. Now, if I pull them off and don't put my hands on them, I can reuse them. But be careful, don't get the ink all over your hands or they'll be on your paper as well. Okay, so then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to close I'm not going to close it yet. I'm going to center this so that it's just about at my 3 here and just about at my 2 there. But remember, those are not inked over there. So the only thing that is going to stamp is going to be, oh, you know what? I think I inked the 31st here. So I am going to, well, okay, I did ink the 31st. So I'm going to pull this down. So I'm going to pull it down. So if I had 31 days in this month, that is where it would go. I would just move it down to this first line. You guys can't see that probably. Okay, so I have moved it down to the first line on my board, and I'm just going to press that down. So that's going to give me a month with 31 days, where the first Saturday is the second. Okay, and that's how it comes out. Whoops, and I messed up. My two got doubled, but you guys can see that what I'm talking about. Okay, now let me try. I don't know, this camera's not working real good for me right now. Okay, so then if I was going to do, let's clean that off real good with my chamois. Just going to take my chamois and wipe that off. Okay. And then now if I was going to do, let's say my month is going to start on, or my first Saturday is going to be on the 4th here. Okay, so I'm going to cover up the 5th, everything from the 5th over, just like that. And then if that's going to be the 4th, then my next day would be the 5th, which would be over here. Okay, so I'm going to cover up everything from the 5th. Whoops, no, the 6th would be my next day. Nope, my 4th, my 5th. I had myself mixed up here. So I want to see the 5th. So I'm going to cover up the 4th. Just like that. I think I need to raise you guys up. I think that will help. Let's try that. I'm sorry. I'm making you guys dizzy. I wanted to put it down low so you could see, but I think that you see less by having it down that low. Okay, now let's see if that helps any. Okay, so now I've taped my top here, and then I'm just going to, okay, so let's tear off a little piece of this. I'm just going to tear off a little piece, and say my month only has 28 days, 29 days. How many have 29? Not very many. Let's say it has 28 days. This is a February. I'm going to cover up those days that I don't want, just with a little tape. And you have to cover it before you ink. If you cover it after your ink, it's going to be on there, guaranteed. Okay, so then I'm going to pull off my two sides. And my little piece down here that I used to cover. And then I'm going to put my paper in here. And the 4th was my Saturday, so I need to center it. So it's going to be not quite the 4th and not quite the 5th here. So I'm just centering it on what I have there, and then I'm just going to press that down. Okay, so you really just have to pay attention to what your, man, I'm making a mess out of this tonight. I don't know why. My stamping's not clean. It's not what I'm doing. It's my stamping's not clean. Okay, so that will give you your different months. Okay, so this is one that had the 31st, and I had to move it down. And this one had 28 days, and I just put it right in there and inked what I wanted, and then took it out. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I will gladly walk through this again, and you have this video so you can do it over and over. The important thing is cover up those dates that you don't want. Put that adhesive on those dates that you don't want to be inked. Then ink, and then remember to take off the tape. Those are the critical points. Thank you so much for joining me in this adventure, and it gets easier. It really does. Practice. It gets easier all the time. Thank you.